我是 DJ 杨斌，我做 DJ 已经20多年了。这是一部介绍中国电子音乐历史、发展和现状的片子，这也是我个人做 DJ 成长的经历。这是 Break the Wall。
杨斌是一个中国做 DJ 最早的人。
He became a master of electronic music in China.
He has a kind of very soulful understanding to music.
我非常喜欢在这个土地上放音乐。中国很大，然后我们有很多的城市，然后我们这些城市，我们所有的 DJ， 我们就像一个大家庭一样。
就是我觉得电子音乐在年轻人这一块稍微起来了。
电子音乐现在已经变成一个年轻人潮流文化。
There's still this kind of curiosity. There's less of that kind of jaded vibe, and people are more open about discovering new things.
Because they're not just want to be famous or be the cool people, they're just doing what they like.
Basically, tastes have evolved and people have evolved, and the music that people are into is a little bit deeper.
20 years ago, electronic music is just a happening. What happening in Europe, and same time we can do the same thing in Beijing.
Now every year I come back, it's developing, and it's really, really cool to see how it's been going on.
This is the story of electronic music in China. But where did that story first begin?
I'm kind of like the first generation start with this music.
Yang Bing is one of the pioneers of underground techno music in China. When he got started over 20 years ago, however, this music was completely unknown by most.
I was like young, we just listen really like traditional Chinese music. That's why, I'm really interesting for other kind of music. The rock music in 80s just started in China. Everybody thinks the rock music is bad. It's a bad reputation. For the electronic music, no one touched this kind of music. One guy, he went to the school in England. He went back to China. He told me, Yang Bing, actually now it's rock music. It's the finish in Europe. And right now it's electronic music.
Since that time, electronic music has become an essential part of Yang Bing's life. Now this music can be heard all over China, in cities large and small. For Yang Bing, his journey started in his hometown of Beijing, in an area known today as the Hutongs.
We are at Hutong area. We are at like Beijingqiao 3条. Hutong is like the old part in Beijing, the old town in Beijing. This building, when I was like 25 years old, actually I live here. I live in this building. Why I like the Hutong? Because you can feel it's Beijing.
It was in these streets, over 20 years ago, that Yang Bing and a small group of fellow techno enthusiasts started playing vinyl records and throwing small parties together. Many of these people are huge names in the scene today, both in China and abroad, but they still have strong connections to those early days.
I'm really happy I was involved in the beginning with my friend Wong Wong, Yang Bing, Michael.
It's Michael Frontman. I arrived in China in '95.
And that was the best time.
That's like a really good memory. I just finished my first, the Great Wall party. I was pretty high actually during that time.
And that time Yang Bing was, the hair was like that. Yeah, I was always make joke of him. Oh, great hat.
Also, Yodai was one of the first people I met in China about the same time as Yang Bing. He's a radio DJ. He played, he's probably the first guy who plays Western pop music on Beijing FM.
When I started DJing first at the radio station in the early 90s, I started the program New Rock Magazine, Midnight Blues, Jazz Train to introduce rock and roll music to China.
我是有待，有没有的有，等待的待。
He have the small record shop. They have the many underground music records.
In the 90s, when we started, everyone, we were together. We were a big family.
Zhang Youdai was a bit of a hero for people like Yang Bing and Wang Wang at that time. He was also involved in one of the first and most groundbreaking electronic parties in China's history, a rave on the Great Wall of China.
When we do that party, we bring people to the wall. We dancing on the wall.
大墙特别好。
I think Michael did it, and when first time he told me the idea, I think you're crazy, you know.
Well, it was always a dream of mine, first of all, to do the first kind of happening on this Great Wall.
Kind of a dream I had.
It was just at the weekend Bill Clinton, I think, visited China, Beijing for the first time, so that was the day we organized this first party on the Great Wall.
Although relatively small in scale, the event represented a bit of a new direction for the formerly closed and guarded China.
The Great Wall is a symbol. It's a symbol of history and China.
第一年的印象我比较深刻，因为就是真正在那个 on the wall， 然后人也不是特别多，可能应该大概500人左右。
We were nervous and everybody was anxious, but at the end it worked out. On the last minute the music started to play, and we played for 2 days non-stop music up there, and probably nobody will forget that weekend of the first party on the Great Wall in China, the first dance music party.
Sort of special atmosphere, being here in Beijing and having just never believing that I would end up doing something like this or actually this ever happening.
Michael is a very important guy for China, yeah. Also for me, I think.
Yang Bing, I guess he also, we inspired him maybe also a little bit through our music we did, and it's nice to see that he plays a big role in China now in music, or in DJ music, in electronic music.
Michael was one of, if not the first people to bring electronic music to China. Although he eventually moved back to Switzerland, he had started a movement here. The scene today has grown so much, but those first events are truly where it all began.
And it gets more commercial as things do when they get bigger. So there's nothing anymore like the party 98. But as it is in China, things which are here today are gone tomorrow.
到05年的时候就那一次就是算是比较大的一个规模，大概有3000人左右。
After this, electronic music began to take off in China.
The music at that moment is really new to us.
After 98, getting more and more popular and make this industrial really, really big.
It's about soul. Music that has soul, has value.
No matter where you go, as long as you love the same type of the music, then you will bring the same type of the people together.
As electronic music started to enter mainstream culture, a lot of change began to occur. The scene today is almost unrecognizable compared to those first parties. However, there are still some relics from those older days that serve as a reminder of where it all began. One of these, of course, being the Great Wall.
First time I still remember it's 20 years ago. So this is 2017, it's 20 years later.
The size, the vibe, and the people may be different, but the Great Wall remains a hot spot for electronic music events.
We did first event in this location, so that I brought a bunch of Shanghai DJ and cooperate with Beijing people together and did a rave.
This particular event is Yin-Yang Festival. It's the brainchild of one of the more prolific and storied organizers in China.
My name is Rainbow Gao.
Rainbow has actually been throwing parties on the Great Wall for years.
There's one Great Wall near Badaling. It's belong to army. Now they open to commercial. Maybe can do something there. So then I want to find this location, and we start to do the first. Like 2011, we did first event in this location. We call Secret Great Wall Party. Yeah.
Yin-Yang Festival lasts for over 3 days and hosts nearly 40 DJs, playing through the day and night. Ravers from different corners of the world have made their way here, many of them actually being expats, living in Beijing, Shanghai, or other cities around China. A lot has changed since the first Great Wall Party over 20 years ago, but the concept remains the same. The idea of doing an event that promotes creativity and personal expression at China's most famous and historic location. Although they may not have realized it, the people here at Yin-Yang were carrying on the dream, started by Michael and Yo Dai all those years before.
We are standing on history to make our history.
Modern China is a place where change and growth happen so fast that you might wake up one morning and feel like you're living in a new country. It was time to see how the electronic music scene had grown in other areas, and to do that, Yang Bing felt we first had to return to Beijing. Today, the city is home to a wide variety of electronic music subcultures, and music fans here have deeper, much more varied tastes than they did in years past.
因为电子音乐它有一种文化，这种文化的话，大家接受的那个敏感度，北京会高一些。
以前的北京特别的安静，现在的北京特别的繁华。反正我就是北京人，我走到哪儿，我觉得还是回到北京我最踏实。
北京是特别好的，其实北京有很长的，还算挺长时间的音乐的历史，当然到现在有很多起伏，也有很多变化。
Yang Bing's story with electronic music may have started in the Hutongs, but it continues across the city, at a place where he opened his first club.
We are at Lucky Street. I used to open a club called Red Rabbit, just around here.
在中国的话，特别的时间经历是在白兔那个年代，是08年的时候。
其实我喜欢电子音乐，跟傅燕、跟杨冰他们最早的那个白兔俱乐部非常有关系。
Before the Red Rabbit, in Beijing, we don't have this kind of club. This is like first, the underground industrial techno club.
然后我第一次是我的朋友带我去了White Rabbit， 然后我一下就立刻爱上这种音乐了，对，就是这样。
Although it may not seem like too long ago, White Rabbit was representative of a different time in Yang Bing's life.
During that time, I just over 30. I don't have the money. We found here. It's like a basement. Just want to play music. Oh yeah. Also, the first floor we painting inside. We're painting like a black, called like a black room. Second floor is a white room. We opened the white. Everything is white. Oh, so they still keep the white.
So why did he end up opening a club here?
Only this space is empty for the developer. Because no one want to rent like a basements. Basements, for techno music, we can play louder. Dessert, like a cafe or a bar. Second floor is, we do more the really techno stuff here. It's a DJ booth there, and the bar over there, here's the dance floor right now become the bar, fancy bar.
Beijing itself has also changed a lot since the days of White Rabbit.
During that time, it's a perfect time, so you still can do like a club like this. You can make the subculture things in Beijing. But right now, I think it's a really hardcore time because the rental too high. You can't make the club like this kind of concept. That's why I really respect Dada and Lantern. They're still doing really good job.
Dada and Lantern are two of the most popular underground clubs in Beijing today. The culture that had started at places like White Rabbit had evolved and spread out into these newer venues, which now formed the backbone of the Beijing underground community.
Beijing's scene is quite small, but I like it because it's got, I think, the strongest community here for like the DJs and the party kids and people that like music. They're really curious about music in Beijing.
我觉得 club 不错的就是达达跟灯笼，达达可以偏什么 house 一点，偏什么 bass 一点，灯笼就是那种 techno 的。
Yeah, my name is Wong Wong. I'm a DJ and a producer. I'm running the Lantern now. I do many things for the electro music.
Today, Wong Wong is mainly known as the owner of Lantern, but he was actually one of the forefathers of the scene in Beijing, along with Yang Bing and Yo Dai.
Wong Wong is the first DJ I know in Beijing.
I know Wong Wong more than 20 years already. Yeah, kind of like a brother.
Me and Yang Bing, we started doing the electro music 20 years ago. China is a big country. It have a lot of things that people want to do, but this kind of culture is very smaller. It's like the basement culture. Yeah.
One thing about Lantern, it has a vision and sticks to it.
They have some different style in Beijing, like the trap, bass music. So Lantern only focus the techno music. I think it's a big difference than another club.
While Lantern and Wong Wong strive to maintain and develop the original techno spirit that started in China in the 90s, Dada is a bit newer on the scene and adds a more international vibe.
My name's Michael. I'm from San Francisco, and I've been in China for about 15 years now. We've got two clubs, the Dada in Beijing and in Shanghai. Shanghai's been there for about 8 years. Beijing about 5 years.
He brings so many international artists. His club booking is amazing.
It's really overwhelming now. There's so many acts that want to get booked here. I mean, I get like 100 emails every day from agents, from all over, wanting to book stuff, and I can't even read them all.
These bookings show how foreign artists have begun to view China differently.
And now it's kind of just become part of the tour circuit, It's just you go to China now, and that's for small acts and also big stars now.
Michael is unique in that he is an expat who's made a real career for himself in Beijing. We wanted to know what had kept him here for so long.
Just got inspired by what was happening here. It's very small. It's been really interesting to see the growth over the past decade,
Both these clubs, but Lantern specifically, have strong connections to the underground culture in Beijing. Wong Wong, its owner, is also someone who's had a profound impact on some of the newer participants in the scene.
When I'm texting Wong Wong, I just don't know, like Wong Wong or Wong Ge or Wong Shu or Wong Lao Shi, because he was the person who told me many times the history of electronic music. He was like my master. He taught me what this and that is.
Miao Wang is one of the more prominent organizers currently in China. We found her at her office, also located in the Hutong area. Over the past decade, she's helped to further legitimize the scene in China.
She's a promoter, organizer. She does so many really good stuff for the country.
It was actually her early experiences with underground techno and how different it was that hooked her on this industry.
It might not make any sense to first start listening to electronic music with, minimal techno. It was completely different from what I thought electronic music was, like those commercial nightclub kind of music. And that was when I found, it's interesting. So let's say around 2005 and 6, that was when I became closer and closer friends with back then DJs, producers, and that's also when acupuncture got started.
Acupuncture was where Miao first started working with Wong Wong.
Before we have a team name is Acupuncture Records. 10 people. It's a big team in Beijing.
Wong Wong is the most experienced one. He had a long history with parties already, and then he felt like now this group of people, we should start a record label.
Acupuncture, the first guy Wong Wong and Miao, and also the Elvis Acupuncture is they do a really good job.
In China, sometimes record label also means party promoter. Yeah, so basically just a group of people that wants to do everything. And that's how acupuncture was established.
As acupuncture records grew, many of the members branched out into other areas of electronic music to work on their own projects.
Lantern opened in 2009 and also in the same year Intro Festival. Yeah, it was quite complicated. You know, it's not just a record label anymore, not only a promoter anymore, it's also a festival organizer and also, you know, run Lantern nightclub.
This greatly changed the structure of acupuncture. As Wang began to focus more on Lantern Club, Miao concentrated on events and festivals. This culminated last year when she was able to bring the renowned Boiler Room to China for the first time.
Last year in April 30th in Beijing and May the 1st in Shanghai was the first official Boiler Room China event.
Boiler Room is a music platform focused on online streaming. It advertises itself as broadcasting underground events to the world as they happen. Founded in London in 2010, Boiler Room has hosted shows in over 100 cities worldwide, from Stockholm to Shanghai. While getting Boiler Room was great for China, Miao viewed it more as a chance for Chinese DJs to show the world what they could do.
Back then, we were more focused on what we could do rather than what we can bring.
It was another step forward for China.
It's live streamed and you actually reach more people, even if it's just in a small room like this. We really accomplished a lot.
Everybody like to watch on the YouTube, you know. Finally, they come to China, you know, that's like big things. So you also can stand off the DJ booth with the whole world. Yeah, let's dance.
Boiler Room China was a massive success, with over 2 million people tuning in to watch the stream. And like Miao had said, it was a platform for Chinese DJs like Mickey Zhang and Xiao to get some well-deserved exposure. One of these deserving DJs that also performed at Boiler Room China was Elvis T.
It was the first time that I was an artist manager, and he was my main artist. So with Elvis, I first created my, artist agent experience.
I'm Elvis T, and I come from Taipei.
Elvis currently resides in Beijing, the city he feels has the best atmosphere for musicians.
Beijing is cool at the moment because all the musicians live in Beijing, like all the media. So I'm surprised. I went to the festival, I can see all kinds of people.
Elvis is perhaps most well known for his studio, which looks like something from a science fiction film.
I went to his studio, the interview him. I think he has the best studio in the world. I went to the Berlin many times. I went to the Lotus studio. I never seen a studio like his studio.
What makes Elvis' studio so special is not just the amount or quality of equipment he has, but how difficult it usually is to get these things in China.
For example, you want to buy the synthesizer, you have to check the YouTube or some video, but it's always not right sound for you. You're like, okay, the video is, wow, sounds good, but when you get it, no, it's different. Because I just started my new studio last year, so the space here is big. So many people they want to visit. If I have new stuff here, and they just try here, and they can listen immediately, and they will make a decision like, okay, it's good or bad. And yeah, I can help them to import it.
And it's really old school actually, because you can change the pitch from here. Okay, so we added one drum.
Having been in the scene for a long time and understanding all that goes along with the industry, Elvis is trying to do his part to help the new generation understand areas in which DJs and producers are lacking, and how they can improve the scene as it moves forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some workshop doing my tour. Now China, we have many festivals, and also we have many clubs now, but we don't have many labels, we don't have many release. For me now, it's more important is not the organizer party. I think for me, like, it's more important to teach young people how to make music, to let them to more understand the culture, because this culture is not only club. Every city need their own sound. So that's why I started the workshop.
It's this technical side of music creation and production that overwhelms and confuses a lot of new artists and producers, but it's also incredibly important. One of the people who's also trying to use his knowledge in this area to help improve the quality of music coming from China is Shen, from Ran Music, one of the few true record labels in Beijing.
For Ran Music, like we started this label back in the beginning of 2015, and basically I'm almost running, everything, like doing, get demos and doing kind of the A&R thing, give them feedback, and then if we accept the demo, the artist will send me the project file. I will help them doing mixing, mastering, and then promote and get them online on the platform.
Although he mainly focuses on the production side, Shen still likes to DJ when he can, as that's how he first got involved in electronic music.
Yeah, that's basically how I play live actually, just improvise on this kind of instrument. That's how the label started, because I was a mixing engineer and people, come to me and give me really good music for me to mix, and I realized they don't have a label to release this kind of music. So I'm thinking, yeah, why not I start a label? I will, handle mastering and also like the releasing for them.
One of the more unique bands Shen is working with today is High Electromen. Started by two veteran DJs from Beijing, Kaisa and Demon.
我现在最喜欢应该是我的 band， 我也可以把更多有意思的东西可以放到我的 life 里面，可以更抽象，可以更大。
Kaisa's interest in music started when he was young.
因为我的父亲是一个 piano teacher， 所以他的希望我还是做音乐，他比较支持我做音乐，他不管我做什么样的音乐，他其实都支持。对，他没来过，对，我不希望他来 club 看我。
Kaisa's main partner in the band is another Beijinger and old friend of Yangbing.
Demon, he also working with the Kaiser. They have a band, High Electromen.
Hello. While Demon focuses a lot of his time on High Electromen now, he is still mainly known as a radio DJ, and he broadcasts his program regularly.
大家好，我是 Demon， 然后我做了一个网络电台，然后它的名字叫做糖蒜广播。我从2004年开始做这个广播电台。
Demon is another veteran who's been involved in many areas of electronic music.
Lately, he becomes a DJ. Right now, he becomes a producer. He has his band. Wow, he grows so fast, 10 years.
We traveled across the city to Demon's apartment, which doubles as a studio, to see how High Electromen creates their music.
Demon 是主要做那些 program。
我们基本上现在就在这个特别拥挤的环境下排练，对，因为基本上，这屋里面虽然比较满，但是基本上能满足我们所有的那个需求。
Demon is a bit of a perfectionist about the quality of the band's sound.
然后所有的这些设备，你看特别多，是因为我们需要每个硬件的不同的声音，然后来做每个音乐之间的搭配。比如说，如果你做偏 techno 一点的音乐，可能就要用，比如说 MFB 1000，它是特别典型的德国的声音。然后，如果你要是做 house 点音乐，可以比如用 TR8，就是典型罗兰的 house 的节奏。
High Electromen actually takes a lot of this equipment with them when they perform live gigs.
因为我们是从开始玩这个乐队就开始比较坚持只用硬件做演出，那我们整个演出没有电脑，所以全都得把所有的系统工程做在硬件的机器里面，所以就得带好多机器去，就挺费劲的。
Both Demon and Kaisa clearly love their band, but we had to ask the question, could they make a living doing this?
肯定完全不行。对，就是基本上我还要平时做别的工作吧。就有一些，比如说有的时候也得做一些商业的音乐，有的时候可能就比如说做 DJ， 乐队因为就是在中国其实刚起步嘛，如果电子乐能发展到中国摇滚乐那种程度，那其实基本上就能靠做独立音乐人，靠做独立音乐就可以养活自己，但是现在还差得很远。
Like Demon implied, doing more commercial projects was the way to make better money. But it was refreshing to see there were some people who were still focused on doing more experimental music.
This is kind of music I really appreciate it. This is basically electronic music, but very organic because it sounds very human, not just machine, you know, that's mostly electronic music sound. So I'm really into this kind of thing, and that's what my label is really focused on.
A few months ago, Kaiser sent to me his new track. I was shocked. Amazing. So that's make me think, wow, he into the Ran Records label improved a lot. Even so, you put that track in the Berlin, I think a lot of producers think really professional.
Overall, Beijing has the longest history with electronic music in China. But what makes the city stand out is the diverse array of musical subcultures that have cropped up here.
Yeah, I definitely think the electronic music scene in Beijing is quite unique because there are people doing different things. There are people, you know, really kind of focus on promoting house music, techno music. There are people really into bass music, and there are even people doing those avant-garde experiment music, you know, using field recording, all this kind of thing. And yeah, everybody knows if you're doing experiment music, those kind of music, you are not going to, of course, you know, be famous or become some big name artist, but still there are people doing it. That's why I really think these people are awesome, you know, because they just doing what they want to do. And I don't think that happens a lot in other cities.
The artists and producers in Beijing are nothing if not proud of their city. However, Beijing is just one part of China. Cities like Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Chengdu all bring something unique to the scene.
And its relation to the transformation of man, which is not dependent on knowledge or time.
A broader look at these cities, and China as a whole, reveals a new wrinkle that has developed as electronic music grew in popularity over the past 2 decades.
Right now, it's more mainstream. Before, it's totally like underground.
Investors, they don't understand any culture. They put money in. They just want to get every day making money. So whole war about commercial club and underground club had maybe about 10 or 15 years war. Underground little bit failed, but the people still have the spirit.
Commercial underground， 音乐不一样先吧，对。还有就是大小不一样嘛，主要就是音乐不一样，风格不一样，还有就是去玩的人都不一样。
In Hong Kong, this conflict is quite visible.
Now, most of the club you can see is in the place called Lan Kuai Fong. So actually, you can see the attitude of the people now. They're going to club, and it's not really go for the music. They go for how to show off, how to get how many bottles you have it on the table to get more girls next to him.
Donald's opinion is not uncommon in the underground scene. While Hong Kong and even Shanghai have become world-renowned spots for nightlife, there are many that don't love the over-commercialized atmosphere that has developed here.
To be honest, for this kind of industry, I think it's good. So grows bigger and bigger. But for techno concept, for the music side, I think not cool actually.
There is a small underground scene that's thriving in Hong Kong, however, if you know where to look. And the mix of people from all over the world add a special flavor to this city.
Why I like to go to Hong Kong? Because Hong Kong for me is a really different feeling, really international city.
It's a mysterious city. You seem to find new things every day. You never get bored with Hong Kong. I don't know why.
The energy here is very good. All the neighborhood, they used to come hang out here and drink and eat.
1997 to 2004, the organizers, they make very good money because everybody go to rave. Right now, the market is getting small and back to underground. Even the underground party in Hong Kong, the techno party, is only maybe 100 people, 60 people. But for me, it's good enough because everyone is real. They understand and enjoy and respect us and music.
There's even a small underground influence in Lan Kuai Fong.
The Lan Kuai Fong actually is really commercial. I only like the one club called Oma.
OMA is run by Taku, a native of Japan and longtime friend of Yang Bing.
Okay, this is a small club, at the same as Hong Kong small island. And then at night, it's quite many people come and then stay close and then dance really tight like this. Yeah, this is the packed energy in Hong Kong, I think.
What Taku is doing isn't exactly easy.
He does so good job because in Hong Kong everything really expensive. You know that if you open the night underground club in Hong Kong, people for sure tell you you're crazy. But he does these things, you know, because he loved the techno music. He followed his heart.
Yang Bing's trip to Hong Kong to play at OMA was symbolic of what the city represents, a spot for people from all around the globe to meet and connect. In this instance, it was underground DJs from different corners of the world converging at OMA, one of these being Mike Shannon.
My name is Mike Shannon. I'm from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada originally. I've been touring in the international scene for about 20 years.
Mike has known Yang Bing for a long time, and he's also no stranger to the underground music scene in China.
So the first time that I came to China, where I actually arrived in Beijing, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, my friend Yang Bing was running the club.
Although that was his first time in China, Mike integrated into the scene quickly.
And I got connected with a gentleman by the name of Michael, who was a Swiss guy who had been living in Beijing for many years and somehow had infiltrated the whole scene there and had this relationship happening. And this guy, Michael, kind of connected the whole thing. And that's where the whole thing started.
That first trip made a real impact on Mike.
And somehow I had this I don't know, there was you could see how small the world is and how similar these places are in so many different ways. People were so open and warm, so it wasn't the most difficult thing for me to connect with some people over here.
This notion is shared by many others in the underground scene.
This is a small club. What I like here, when I stand the DJ booth, I can see everyone's face.
I mean, I think if you engage with people and there's an energy there and people vibe on that, and I realize how lucky I am to be in this position, be in a place like this and do what I'm doing. It's, you know, it's kind of a joke and a dream at the same time.
It's very special for me. I mean, the Taku is from Japan and Mike Shannon, Canada. The night is DJ together. Yeah, actually that night, we lost money.
It was a special night for all involved.
Yeah, play with Yang Bing, my master.
Hong Kong is a city with a heavy commercial influence, but the underground scene has managed to stay alive in spite of this, and the community is a true family.
I get to meet people like Helen, Taku, all these wonderful people. They made me happy, energetic, and inspired.
While Hong Kong is a city renowned for having a bit of something for everyone, Shanghai's reputation is a bit more one-sided, more focused on commercialism and wealth. Despite this, the underground DJs in Shanghai insist that there is a place for their culture as well.
I think Shanghai has pretty cool underground scene. I mean, of course, it is also commercial because there's a lot of mega clubs, but there's young generation kids still go to underground clubs.
For a lot of people, it's a money city more than a culture city. That said, I think for China, mainland China especially, it has a pretty healthy underground music scene.
Underground music can be found at a few clubs around the city, such as the aptly named Elevator.
Oh, the reason they call it Elevator is because they have this really tiny little elevator. It's probably the smallest elevator I've ever seen.
But there's one venue in particular that really stands out in trying to bring a new environment and vibe to the scene. The Mansion.
I think Mansion, really cool, reminds me of my rave days, underground.
This venue was established by Rainbow Gao, who also founded Yin Yang Festival at the Great Wall, and it is one of the most iconic party spots in all of China.
This is the Mansion. Welcome to the Mansion.
The Mansion opened in 2012 as a hub for musicians, artists, and other young creatives. Most people now know it for its parties. On weekends, the ground floor and basement transform into a full-on nightclub.
The sound crew at the basement really good, so we party from midnight till morning, like 7 o'clock recently. We have a DJ booth here, a jail, people put themselves into jail all the time.
Although the mansion is relatively new, Rainbow is by no means a newcomer on the scene.
First of all, you have to know my age. I'm 53 years old. I moved to Shanghai in 2010, so right now it's 7 years in Shanghai. I have seen actually the whole China how develop into a capitalism. So I want to make this house make people feel experience totally different idea and concept to against the money world.
The mansion has become a vehicle for Rainbow to take all that she has learned and share these experiences with a new generation.
Mansion actually is a house, and I put almost all my idea and concept to this house. Actually here we have a studio. Idea is like we do music production, recording, and we also run free school. So we have a free DJ school. I can teach like 3D mapping, DJ, other people teach Bateman, and we also trying to get everybody to be involved. Only like 20 people live here. It's a free hostel, my family. So let's check out this wall. This comes from one Dutch artist. He's doing graffiti crazily, which not so many people really appreciate his work. And when he came to mansion, he said, "Can I paint the whole mansion, wall and ceiling, do my style?" I said, "Whatever, go ahead." So it's a conception, it's his concept. Full of sperms and butterfly vagina. It's his concept, it's conception.
At night is when the mansion comes to life.
And then weekend, we open here as party place. So first floor mostly for chill out music, people sitting, talking, also have a bar, but mostly music at the basement.
While people like Rainbow have been able to find some success promoting underground music in a commercial landscape, there is one city in China where the underground actually takes center stage: Chengdu. Located in the mountainous western province of Sichuan, it's known as the heartbeat of the underground scene in China.
Chengdu for me is very special. Chengdu kind of like my second home. I play in Chengdu a lot.
It's a place where the parties and the people are filled with energy and spirit. Over the past few years, however, this reputation has begun to spread, and even those from outside of China are beginning to take notice.
My favorite city in China? Well, I guess the answer is pretty clear. It's Chengdu, of course, yeah. Because of the vibe here, because of the clubs here, the scene here, it's so tight, everybody's great.
The pace of life sets Chengdu apart, though, and helps foster the underground vibe.
首先，我觉得成都它是一个非常放松的城市，就大家可以没有太多的经济的压力，就是你可以生活得很好。如果你的工资不高，你也可以在成都生活得很好，所以这个地方很 chill。
Chengdu compared to other cities in China, for me is very different. It's more peaceful, it's more relaxed. That's what you hear all the time, but it's really true.
Actually, I heard that they call it Amsterdam as well. I'm from Amsterdam, and the party scene in Amsterdam is quite big, and well, the free spirit is there, and you kind of feel the same free spirit here as in Amsterdam.
Chengdu is perhaps best known for its unconventional parties, often held outside the city. One of these being Yangbing's Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn 已经经历了1年，然后很开心呢，就是今天就是我们迎来了就我们1年的这个周年的派对。
One of the most famous parties in Chengdu actually doesn't exist anymore, but its impact on the scene was massive.
Dojo is an American-style underground house party, which is located on the outskirts of Chengdu.
I love Dojo, and it's my favorite place to play.
I mean, it was based on an American house party, which I went to in Quantico, Virginia. And they were epic. They were like 400-person house parties in the middle of nowhere. And I wanted to recreate that in China. It wasn't just me, obviously, it was a group of people, but that was the idea. That's kind of the best way to describe Dojo.
My favorite party to play at is definitely Dojo. It's complete freedom there, and crowd digs everything.
It was not a business. It was not made to make money. It was a free event. The whole idea was to be unpredictable, you know, to do something different every time.
Although Dojo was eventually closed down, that spirit of underground freedom still remains in Chengdu. One of the people who's carried on this tradition is Marco, who, over the past few years, has organized many impromptu street parties at a variety of locations around the city.
Actually, the more or less kinda I started doing it because I couldn't really find nice venues to do parties, and it was summer. Everybody was there together, joining in street parties, felt like nice unity in the community. It's also nice to find some new people on the street and introduce them to new music. And it's always free, so everybody can just join in.
Marco isn't doing all these parties alone, though.
This is Disco. She's also always with me with all the street parties. With me for 8 years. And I think you also belong in this documentary. Yeah? Okay.
Parties like this make up one part of the scene, but that doesn't mean that underground clubs don't exist here. There's one in particular that really seems to capture the vibe of Chengdu.
TAG, tag. Yeah, the vibe, the energy is so incredible. I love that.
So of course we had to meet the woman behind this project.
大家好，我叫 Ellen， 然后我现在在成都有开自己的院吧和 Tag Club。
Ellen has a history with Yang Bing, and in a way, he helped inspire her to get involved with underground music in the first place.
Yeah, I know her a long time. First time I met her actually in my club, White Rabbit.
认识杨斌可能有10几年了。他以前在北京有他自己的俱乐部，我们经常会到北京去他的俱乐部里玩。那个时候成都还没有这么好玩的俱乐部，所以每一次去北京我们都是玩得很开心，玩得很尽兴。
Ellen decided to open Tag to try and capture that same feeling, only in Chengdu.
后来为什么开 Tag？ 就是我们觉得 OK， 哈卡巴太小了，我们需要一个真正的一个派对的地方。
For a club like right now, yeah, for sure in the whole country, it's under fire.
Tag is housed in one of the more bizarre buildings in the city, the Poly Center.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Chengdu CDC.
Poly Center is it's very unique the building. You know, in that building, so it's more than 20 clubs inside.
So this place is infamous all around China for having a dozen or more venues in one building, which is fairly unprecedented for anywhere in the world. I mean, let alone China.
Although it looks like just an ordinary apartment building, at night, the 19th and 21st floors are packed with partiers, moving between the numerous nightclubs there. We went with Ellen to visit Tag and learn more of the story behind the club and its mission.
所以这里就是 Tag， 然后大家可以看到，当我们进入 Tag 的时候，我们第一个看到的就是我们的 DJ 台，这里是我们的中心。
What makes the Tag special? Because the people there's really freedom. They love the music.
Tag has hosted all of China's top DJs since it opened, and Yang Bing was actually one of the first to make a name for himself here.
杨斌之前有一段时间是每个月在这里有他的派对 ，That's Good Till Down 的，或其他的很多 DJ， 什么志奇、佩佩、Mia、Elvis， 就很多的 DJ 都来过 Tag。
The idea of this industry being a community is felt very strongly at Tag.
然后我们就是不是 Tag 自己在做一些事情，我们是和所有人一起在中国做一些事情。
Right now, Tag may be doing well, but it wasn't always an easy process.
我在开 club 的3年，我还有了自己的 baby， 所以就是 you know take care of kids。club 都是非常辛苦、非常累的事情，而且我在同时做。对我来说，我可能想过100次放弃。
Ellen has a simple explanation for why she didn't give up, though.
每一天晚上可能有4个5个人过来说啊 ，Ellen 谢谢你，然后或者是有人跟我说啊 ，We love Tag， 就是这样的精神，就是这样的人让我继续做到现在。
As far as the scene in Chengdu has come in the last few years, Ellen has even higher hopes for the future.
我觉得成都的电子音乐市场肯定是会越来越好， 哪怕是有一天我真的放弃了，我相信还是会有很多人继续，可能有100个 Alan 出来继续做这个事情，然后让成都的市场越来越好。
One thing that had become clear during our travels so far was that despite how big of a country China is, the underground scene is a very tightly knit community.
You know, we do this documentary, we interview a lot of people, yeah, we got a lot of really good experience.
All of the people involved, however, were incredibly busy with their own projects and rarely had time to meet up, discuss new ideas, and how to overcome the problems they faced. Yang Bing had been thinking for a while about an event that could change this.
Make everybody together, they can share their stories, their experience, even they can meet up together.
He had also decided that Chengdu was the perfect city to host something of this nature. A plan had been put into motion, but it wasn't going to be easy.
So much work, you know, book the flights, book the hotel, you know, the rent space. I'm leaving Beijing, also need to talk with the party in Chengdu. That's why I need to talk with the local team, you know, to help me to set up the things, you know, the lot of calling. You know.
It was decided that this event was going to be an outdoor one. This led us to another area of the underground scene that we hadn't explored yet. Festivals.
First festival in outdoor, you know, that's different.
It's outdoor, you know, we really as humans have this essential need to be outdoors. The difference from clubs is of course it happens during the daytime and there's just more fresh air and people are in a different mentality and mindset. You have different people coming to these festivals.
Festival, there has a big booking, you know. You can, you know, hang out with your DJ friends. That's part I really like it.
We first visited 2 festivals that are well known across China. Intro in Beijing and Strawberry in Chengdu.
Strawberry is really one of the first ones in China, really take it to the next level, and it's really important for people to see, oh, this is a music culture. They can see this, they will see other smaller events, underground events, so it's a really important step for the Chinese people to roll into this music culture.
The foreign artists at these festivals were surprised by the genuine passion that China has for this type of event.
So for them, this is completely something new. This is something out of space, basically.
When you're in Asia, it's so new and so fresh. It's like it's 1992 in Europe here.
While it may not be at the level of Europe yet, the seeds have been planted, and the festivals in China are starting to become more and more professional and diverse. While Intro and Strawberry were more standard festivals in terms of music and design, that does not mean that experimental festivals don't exist in China as well. To find one of these, we traveled to the city of Kunming in Yunnan province. Kunming is not known for having a strong underground scene, but again, it may only be a matter of time before that changes. Our destination was actually just outside the city in the nearby mountains. This is the annual location of one of the wildest events in all of China, Spirit Tribe. Spirit Tribe is a 3-day psy-trance festival that gives all its participants a chance to escape the hectic city life of China.
We're here in Yunnan, a little village just outside of Kunming. This is where we hold our yearly 3-day festival.
Pete used to working with Strawberry Festival. Right now he does his things called Spirit Tribe.
其实灵族 Spirit Tribe 是我 Peter 和于宇我们3个人开始的这个地方。
I guess Spirit Tribe is where we try to show the wider lifestyle associated with psy-trance. So one of the things that was frustrating when we were in Beijing or anywhere else is that we were doing things in clubs, and we felt that this music isn't just like a party in a club. It has this much wider lifestyle aspect to it that revolves around art and creativity. So a lot of people that are into this music, they're also into like yoga and meditation, and they're painters and things like this. But you can never really express that. So the idea here is this is essentially a creative community, and this is like our yearly big party where everyone comes together.
因为我喜欢这样的生活，我认为 psy-trance 是一个文化，是一个音乐，是一个表现形式，它是一种生活态度。
The secluded location and surrounding nature are major factors in making Spirit Tribe so beloved.
Yunnan is the most beautiful province in China. It has so many mountains, it's the forests and rivers, so it's a perfect place for a psy-trance party.
因为我觉得这边从自然环境，不管是人文来说的话，都占有非常好的优势。云南在户外做 party 的话，那肯定是全国最牛逼的。
I wanted to do something more closely related to the kind of parties that I grew up going to in London, which were very underground and very spontaneous. I just wanted to do my own thing, I guess, and like paint my own picture.
I think for me, he's the most interesting guy to do interesting things right now.
We're in the middle of renovating, but this is just kind of like, it's a bit more quiet and it's all closed off, and we can kind of chill out in here, and we're not always living basically with people hanging around and Oi! To be honest with you, I would hope to eventually go international, like fully international. I mean, I know that's quite a quite a thing to say, but why not? Why set limits on yourself?
Spirit Tribe may be small right now, but it has a passionate and growing fan base.
这是我第一次来灵族，但是呢，很多朋友我们都之前我们在 Experience 见过，在泰国，对，大家都是很好的 family， 所以我们在这边又重聚，然后这个主题重生，我觉得非常好。
The biggest surprise, though, is how Pete has the support of the government to do this event.
We're working very closely with the government. They should be coming to the party later on and having fun. When you do festivals, a lot of the time you're dealing with the government on a very, very high level. But out here we're dealing with local government, and we have a very, very good relationship with them. I mean, they're essentially our friends, and they're very supportive of what we're doing here. And actually this whole area we're in now has been marked as a place to develop culture and arts and these things. So more and more artists are going to be coming here. But that's all support from the government that have been making this happen. So we actually have a great relationship with the government.
This festival really like an independent, festival. It's an underground concept. No like a sponsor. Really cool. The people come just for one reason, for the music.
All of these clubs and festivals we'd visited were unique in their own right. But what truly makes the scene in China special is when the people behind these events can come together and work on projects that push the envelope even further. With that in mind, it was time to return to Chengdu for the event that Yang Bing hoped would capture this notion and be a stepping stone for more cooperation and forward thinking throughout the industry. The event was taking place on the Wangfujing rooftop, a renowned spot for underground parties in Chengdu. For Yang Bing, it was the start of a special night.
They do a really good job.
There were a lot of familiar faces who had made the trip.
Really exciting, everybody come, from Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, all my friends is coming, super amazing.
Hi, I'm Miao Wang. This is Elvis. We are here in Chengdu at Break the Wall.
Okay, so I basically just arrived in Chengdu. It's really good to be here. There's lots of people from all around China who are involved in the scene.
We have everybody here in Chengdu. I mean, still, it reminds me this is a small community we have.
God, I almost know everyone. Yeah, everybody went to Chengdu many times before. Like Elvis, like Yangbing, like Wong, yeah, everybody come here many times.
I'm with brother Yangbing, all the way from Hong Kong, my lovely city Chengdu. People here, many my favorite people, and I basically trust everyone he picks up, you know.
Well, hi, I'm Donald, actually from Mixmac China. I just arrived in Chengdu for over 24 hours, you know. Well, Chengdu is not the first time I came over here, but I love this city.
昨天到成都，然后晚上去了泰北这玩到早上5点多，然后这个为了参加这个活动嘛，这个活动很有意思。
This is a very good idea to meet people all in Chengdu. Actually, maybe this is very easy in Beijing or in Shanghai, but in Chengdu this is more special.
Actually, in Beijing we are not meet so often.
今天在场很多朋友在北京，我们也不常见面。 大家平时都非常忙，
有这个意思，因为大家原来就是各在一个地方做一个小型的活动嘛，大家合在一起，等于是打破这堵墙，然后就融合在一起了。
But this time it's like such a nice, amazing location, and then how Yangbing is like programmed this with his crew to break the wall.
The first event of the day was a panel discussion and question and answer session.
It's almost a start panel, really exciting.
The biggest change that you guys have seen in the electronic music industry since you first started?
我觉得现在是在中国越来越多的城市，越来越多的人开始加入到这个电子音乐的这个行列，我觉得是一个非常好的事情。
I think there's a lot of hidden gems, great talent from Asia. And then the world is going to find them.
Thanks all very much. So I think that's all we'll do for this. Next was a chance for Bateman, Shen, and Elvis to do their music production workshops.
Next is that I will try my best to actually learn something at Elvis' workshop. After that, we'll party.
It was a unique atmosphere. With so many names from around China and beyond in one place, there were ideas being exchanged and friendships reignited. But for the party that was to take place later that night, there was one problem.
You know, tonight will be rain. You know, that's why we need rent the tent to cover the outside floor. Sometimes it happen, you know, especially if you do the outdoor party. We have the umbrella, the outside, also we have the indoor floor. Tonight should be really good.
It was evident that many of the artists were excited to have an opportunity like this to play together.
首先，这个成都是一个我觉得是在中国现在比较开放的一个地儿，然后又来了这么一个 rooftop， 我觉得是舒服的一个感觉。我觉得我期待今天晚上的 party.
This is actually a really good thing for me to play next to all those big names. I'm super excited. Been working yesterday, been working today, but good to go, ready to go.
As the party got underway, Chengdu proved its reputation as having the most passionate underground music fans in China.
Chengdu is so special because the people, they're very, very, very chill. And nobody really has a business mentality here. So you can really, really party as a profession.
Yeah, this is a very special rooftop for Chengdu because we have many underground party at here, but this time a little bit different.
This venue, I think I'm the first DJ play here. So yeah, I have really good memory play here.
Actually, the first time I done these things, you know, amazing. It's like my dream. From Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, you know, yeah, they're here. Amazing.
Seeing an event like this, with so many artists together, brought to mind a commonly asked question. What makes someone a good DJ? Every DJ has his or her own style, so there are a variety of different answers to this.
If you want to become a good DJ, first you need to know what your style. I mean, I don't care the style for sure, but you need to understand what you can do. That's most important.
I am a DJ. I am what I play.
Good DJ 最重要就是不管他是放什么类型的音乐，最重要令到那个 dance for the people dance 就是一个好 DJ。
怎么是一个好的 DJ？ 让我觉得他的好和坏，可能我不太有一个评判的标准。但是我觉得能够让
观众嗨起来的就是好的。
I love this question because I think that basically what a good DJ is somebody that helps people get laid. So if you look on the dance floor, you know you're rocking, you know you're really doing well. When you can see like people making out all over the place and like things are happening, like there's just this energy like this.
DJing is always together. It's never alone.
But DJ for me is more like an entertainer. You have to watch the crowd, you have to read the crowd.
So the most important thing is every DJ, every single DJ, they have their own sound and to create the whole story for the audience.
As an audience, I love to listen different type of music in one night, not just only because of the EDMs are not good, but underground give me more experience of the night.
When you DJ, you collect energy from people, as well as giving it to people through the medium of music. Yeah, you just never get tired of it.
For Yang Bing, this party and the project as a whole was the culmination of over 20 years in this industry.
I'm in the scene more than 20 years. Always think, one day I can do the documentary. I want to show the people, the whole history.
Break the Wall itself also has a special meaning for Yang Bing.
Break the wall means people working together, connect each other, make something happen. Means showing the world what we can do.
Break the Wall was never about changing the scene in one night, with one party. It was about the first of many small steps forward for the industry, in the hopes that everyone in China and the rest of the world can see how special the underground scene here is. Because this story, the story of electronic music in China, is only just beginning.